Let's take Andrea in Salt Lake City. Andrea!
Hey.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Good to hear from you.
Up?
Any tax? What'd you get? Did you get your paycheck yet?
Yeah. Well, I got it last week, and I just actually finally glanced at the pay stub. And, the federal income tax withholding was a little bit less this time around. So.
Look at you.
Not bad.
Cue the theme song from the
Yes.
Jeffersons.
Yes, there's
Yes.
more where that came from.
We are moving on up, Ann.
Do you think
but
they're...
I have a lot of credit card debt from an extraordinarily lavish trip, but maybe I dressed that.
I feel your pain on that one.
My theory is this. I said this on Kennedy. I think it's brilliant. What they're doing is they're complaining about the tax cut. They're calling it the tax scam. Didn't you say that?
Yeah, that was the hashtag.
Yeah.
Tax scam.
Tax scam. Okay. So what they're going to do is this. They're hoping that they win some seats in the Senate, in the House.
Mm-hmm.
Then what they do is they take up the tax bill and they modify it slightly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They do something. Maybe they pop a little tax increase on the rich, and they pop in a little extra cut for the middle class. Then, when people really see the taxes changing their lives, the Democrats are going to try to take credit for the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Of course they are. It's going to be Pelosi's bill. It's going to be all Pelosi's
But here's
idea.
the thing. Trump ain't going to sign it. Bottom line, he doesn't have to sign it. I mean, they can try to override the veto, but they're going to need a lot of votes.
You're right. There's always the veto.
So that's why they're lying to their voters. They're lying by saying this bill is a scam because we all got money back today.
Right.
And they're lying by saying they can repeal it because they can't repeal it without him being on board.
And I think the hysteria on the left is actually backfiring.
Yeah.
All in all. Like, people think Pelosi is crazy. They're slamming Maxine Waters because the proof is in the pudding. You're seeing more money, and they're continuing to claim that it's a bad thing for middle-class Americans.
But
I promise you it's not.
I thought she was going to swear there. Did you see it? She almost
I
swore.
held back.
She
I
gets
did. I held
fired
back.
up, Jamie LaBella.
You know,
she
it's
gets
like,
very street. After a
God.
while, she
You know
just
what? I
gets
will
very
take-
street. She does.
I
Now-
would take Pelosi's crumbs and add that to my paycheck, too.
We only got a little bit of an extension on this thing. I want to ask Andrea, as someone who wore the uniform, thank you for your service, do you get a little tired of people using the military as that emotional thing, like, we have to sign this for the troops, that kind of thing? Do you think it's a little bit of a dodge or a little bit of a manipulation?
I do, just because there's cuts that can be made elsewhere, and why it has to be something that people largely agree is one of the more important attributes of our government.
Yeah.
It seems kind of odd to me, but then entitlements can't be touched or something like that. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I noticed that this was a little Republican thing. I can't remember who did it, if it was Paul Ryan or whatever, but they... the Republicans, when they said, who's going to be hurt by the shutdown, it's going to be our troops. So they were using that against the Democrats. That's their effective crutch. The Democrats put up a proposal to just fund the military during the thing. And the Republicans, of course, they knocked it down because then their bargaining chip is gone.
Exactly. The point is moved then. Yeah. You're right.
Exactly.
A lot of gamesmanship.
Andrea, thanks for the call.